What will you do if you knew you will not fail? No, seriously, I want to ask that question again. What will you venture in if you knew in your heart that you will not fail? Will you start the business? Will you go back to school? Will you get married? What will you do if you knew you will not fail? We live in a dispensation where it has never been easier to create wealth, become a multi-millionaire like today. In this message, I'm going to show you how to become super wealthy in 2 sentences. This video is for the Ambazonians. This video is for the Anglophones in Cameroon. This video is for the Francophones in Cameroon. This video is for Cameroonians. How to become super wealthy in 2 sentences. 2 sentences. Number 1, grab a pen, a piece of paper, and take notes. This will change your life forever. If we collectively do this, we are going to eradicate poverty in our country. All this fight, because people just stay away from the Ambazonian crisis and they're passive about it because they don't understand the long-term effect of what is going on in our country. Some people have social media platforms and they are not utilizing their platform to create awareness about what is going on in our country. And I feel like this is a clarion call, because a real general is known in times of war, not in times of peace. This is the time that you show up and prove to the world that you are a Cameroonian in this part of the country where we are facing this conflict, and you want change for your country. Not that we be passive and wait for others to solve the problem and then we show up as leaders. No, this is the time to prove to the nation if you are a leader, if you care about the country. So I want to help the Ambazonians as well, because this is a group within the Anglophone zone that want to secede from the nation. So through this video, my goal is that your perspective about life changes so that you go out there and start thinking different and understanding that this strategy might feel good in the short term, but the long-term effects are detrimental for you, for the nation, and your surrounding. Number 1, find out what rich people do ethically, financially, and do the same. Do the same things. It sounds so simple, but I'm going to expatiate and you'll understand where we are going with this. Number 2, find out what poor people do ethically, financially, plus what you do ethically, financially, and stop doing those things. Number 1, find out what rich people do ethically, financially, and do the same things, and find out what poor people do financially, ethically, plus what you do, and you stop doing those things. You will be super wealthy. Rich people think a certain way compared to how poor people think. Life is not about doing certain things. It's about doing things a certain way. That is what propels you to greatness. Let's apply this in 3 areas of your life. But you will do your own research after this video and add on what I'm about to teach us. You apply it in your mind, you apply it in your mouth, and you apply it in your money. And once you do this, you will be rich forever. So, let's start with belief. What do rich people believe compared to what poor people believe? Rich people believe in the power of leverage. Leveraging time, leveraging resources, leveraging circumstances, while poor people believe in their inabilities or their liabilities, which is simply lying about their abilities. Now, the same wind that you can blow and a candle goes off, that same wind can spark up fire and burn the whole forest. That is, circumstances now becomes fuel for the rich, while circumstances cripple the poor. They will complain and blame, and that is a normal phenomenon for every poor person. They always have a reason why they are the way they are, why life is the way it is for them. Does that make sense? Now let's look at the way they think. Because rich people, they believe in the power of their mindset, while poor people are focused on asset, what they can see and touch. Rich people believe in thinking and becoming rich. Thinking and producing stuff through their mind, through their creativity. Rich people believe this way, while poor people believe in things that they see. That is why you see an event, a poor person will show up with a 500,000 francs suit, but all they have is approximately 50,000 francs in their bank account. If a rich person shows up simple, they feel like you are not rich. Poor people will perceive you as not rich because of the way you show up. If you look at Mark Zuckerberg, does he look that flamboyant? No. But does he have money? Sure, he does. But just think of anyone that you know that dresses so good in your community. How much do they have compared to Mark Zuckerberg? How can you be driving in a 10 million francs car and you don't have 2 million to invest in your business? How can you be watching TV while you don't have money to take care of your family? Different way of thinking. And you say, I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm a Barcelona fan. I mean, I don't just understand how this kind of thinking can create wealth for you, right? How can I be watching people on the TV and I will skip meetings or go somewhere else just to sit there and watch a game, and at the end of the day, the players are walking away with the money and I'm going home with nothing except headache, and I've been shouting. And this is it. And once I realized this and I asked myself the question, what do rich people do compared to what poor people do? I started making adjustments. For over 10 years now, I don't have a soccer team that I'm a fan of. I do not. For over 10 years now, I don't watch television. I don't have TV in my home. For 10 years now. Why should I have television and be watching TV when I'm broke? When I don't have the kind of money that I want for my life? Why should I be watching TV? Watching people play soccer game, they leave and they go home with money, and I leave and I go home with nothing. It doesn't make no sense. And sometimes you miss out on opportunities because you want to sit there and watch them play, right? You're watching other people play. You should be playing in your own area of giftings, but you're watching other people play, right? So, rich people believe in possibilities. Poor people believe in impossibilities. You can really see their actions. And I'm talking about this because when I see the entire Ambazonia case, it is predicated on people who believe in impossibilities. The nation is strong, let's split away and run. Like, let's just go, right? Let's split the country and run away. They don't believe in impossibilities. But me, I believe in possibilities. I believe that anything that I lay my hands on will work. That is really what I believe. I don't need to complain, stress, and blame. I believe that whatever I do will succeed. That is really what I believe about myself. Do you understand what I'm saying? And this is not in an arrogant way. I'm very humble, and I believe that everyone is created in the image of God. I'm no better from you, but except what I know about myself. And that is what you are probably missing. Understanding who you are. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, rich people believe in empowered expectations. Why poor people believe in disempowered expectations? That is, rich people believe that something good will happen to them. They believe that they will succeed when they start the business. They believe that everything will work for their good. But poor people believe that the whole world is against them. They believe that people are trying to kill them. And the question is, when you look at a super wealthy man, who do you think they are trying to attack more? Are they trying to attack the wealthy man, or they're trying to attack the poor man? So why would you have this notion that people are against you? That people don't like you? Why? This is a limiting belief and it's holding you down. And if you can change this, everything will change for you. Remember what poor people do and what rich people do. If you can figure that out and start doing what rich people do, life is going to accelerate really fast for you. Now, I want us to look at words, how rich people speak, how they use their mouth, because your mouth is everything. What comes out of your mouth does matter. People will perceive you as a rich person or a poor person based on how you speak. When you go for a job interview, it's based on what you say that will determine if you will get that job or not. So your mouth does have value, and what comes out of your mouth does matter. And you can make this a habit to improve your vocabulary. Number one, you stop using profanity. People use profanity and they think maybe it's a swag, right? They think it's style when they use profanity. But I want to let you know, wealthy people, real wealthy people, they don't use profanity. They speak simple. The most important thing is that the point gets across. Rich people speak positive words while poor people speak negative words. Rich people use their words to create ideas, while poor people use their words to complain and blame. A key example of what rich people do, which I learned very early in my life, a classic example, when we are celebrating birthdays in our community, the tendency is to pack up the house, cook food, invite friends, and have everybody come over. We eat, drink, the next day you wake up with headache, nobody even saw you, people were not even focused on you, people were trying to drink and talk to other people, no one even really saw you or gave you the attention that you needed to celebrate your birthday. One day I was invited for a birthday party. It was an exclusive birthday party. I was the only one who was invited. And that day I get to learn how rich people celebrate their birthday. They choose very few people, go to a classic restaurant, and make sure that they pay attention to the individual whose birthday we are celebrating. It was so special, and that individual felt the impact of their birthday. They left understanding that the people that really care about them value their birthday. Different kind of thinking, different kind of way of looking at life. And from that day, guess what I did? That became a tradition for me and my family. We don't do a birthday party and pack up the house and invite people, buy drinks, and we go crazy. The next day I'm waking up with headache. We don't do that anymore, right? You can hear what I'm saying right now. You either apply it or you ignore it. This is how I changed my habits over time. I learned and did what I see the rich doing. And if you can learn and do the things the rich are doing, you will become super wealthy. I visited another friend who was super wealthy. When I walked in, I realized that the first thing I saw was a library. And book reading is a culture in that family. What did I do? I came back that day. Guess what? I started stocking my library. I started putting books in my library shelf. And today I have books in my house that I read. Why? Because I went, saw what rich people were doing. I came back home and I started doing the same thing. And from that day, my vocabulary has increased. The way I see the world has changed forever. And that's why when I say the things I say here, it's confusing to most people. Maybe since after you left school, you haven't read a book. You're probably a manager of a company and you haven't read a book to improve your skills. You haven't attended a conference to improve your skills. You don't have a mentor to improve your skills. And this is what I saw rich people doing. And what did I do? I started doing what rich people are doing. You can never cut off a bad habit. You only replace it with a good one. You cannot cut off the idea of Ambazonia. You can only replace the idea of Ambazonia by finding purpose for your life, valuing your life, and not living in a community based on the language that you speak, but living in a community based on the values that you share with others around you. If you start living and thinking this way in a community, associating with people based on your values, you realize that there are others in the Francophone zone that you share a similar value. And this will offset all of this animosity that we have towards one another. Is that making sense? So rich people use their words a certain way compared to how poor people use their words. Some people sit around and they say, I have a favorite basketball team. I have a favorite soccer team. I'm a Manchester United fan. I'm a Barcelona fan. I don't have that. I do not. I stopped watching TV 10 years ago. I don't have TV in my home. Why will I sit there and watch people? You are really watching a movie. You have 2 hours to sit down and watch a movie when your children don't have school fees, when you don't have money to pay your rent. And you can sit down for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you watch a movie. You're watching other people live their dreams while your own dreams and that of your family is in jeopardy. It doesn't add up. You have a favorite soccer game and you go there, sit there, watch that match for over 1 hour, 30 minutes, spend money to buy drinks, and you are actually watching those guys and you leave there with headache. They are going home with money in their pocket and you're leaving there with headache and fight. And some of you probably do betting and you lose money, and then you come back home and the next day those individuals are wealthy and you're not. And you have a favorite soccer team. You have a favorite soccer team that you cheer for. Do you understand? Even as I'm saying these things, they are challenging to you. You ask the question, then what else should I do? And that is what I'm saying, that you got to replace the habits. If poverty is important to you and you love it so much, keep it. What I'm saying here is useless for you. But if you desire to be wealthy, you got to find out what rich people do and start doing it financially. You have to stop going to the places where poor people go and start going to the places where rich people go. Do you know there are many rich people in your community, but you've never met them? You only hear about them because they don't go to the same supermarket that you go to, because they don't go watch the same movies that you watch, right? They don't go to the same bar that you go to, and you've never met them, but you've heard about those rich people. There are places where they go to. You have to figure out where they are going. Where do they hang out? Where do they go buy their groceries? Different mindset. What do they do for fun? Do they sit in bars and watch soccer, drink beer? What do they really do with their time? And if you start answering these questions, everything will change for you. Everything will change for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to money, poor people believe that the primary objective of money is to pay bills. Middle class people believe that the primary objective of money is to pay bills and maintain good credit and buy things that they cannot afford, to prove to those who they do not like that they have made it. That is the objective of the middle class. The rich people believe that the primary purpose of money is to turn it into more money. I repeat again, rich people believe that the primary purpose of money is to turn that money into more money, to get that mama money, make them baby money. Rich people think about money a different way. Poor people are afraid of debt. Middle class people are used by debt. Rich people use debt to create wealth. Let me break that down again. I said, poor people are afraid of debt. The middle class people are used by debt. That is, they are the ones saving money in the bank. Let's save. The rich people borrow that money and create more money because they are not afraid of debt. Why? Because they know what to do with money. If they give you 1 million right now, what runs in your mind? What are you going to use that money for? You understand? Because people say, I want the money, I want the money. If they give you 1 million right now, what will you do with that money? Do you have a business plan? Do you have an idea that you invest that money in? Or the very first thing you do is try to go pay the debt that you have, or go use the money to buy some stuffs that you can bring around and prove to others that you too have made it. You understand what I'm saying? Different kind of thinking. The day I will see our community, people walk in for an event and they just look normal. They are not there to impress people. Or even if you have money, but you came to that event, even if you're putting on a 1 million franc suit, and yet you have maybe 20 millions in your bank account, okay, then that is a good dude. The day we show up and we start looking simple, this is like a problem with black people. We believe that in order for people to perceive you as wealthy, you must look the part. You can look clean and simple, and it did not cost you a fortune. all about thinking, guys. It's all about thinking. It's all about the mindset. What rich people think, what they say, and what they use their money for is going to make all the difference for you. In life, there are determining factors and there are contributing factors, right? There are factors that contributed to where you find yourself today. You have no control over contributing factors, but you do have control over determining factors. Determining factors are internal, right? While contributing factors are external. Poor people focus more on contributing factors, while rich people focus on determining factors. For instance, contributing factors could be the government. Contributing factors might be you were born in the Anglophone zone. That is a contributing factor. Contributing factor might be you were born in a poor family. You didn't go to a good school. All of those are contributing factors. But determining factors, that in spite of the school that I went to, I will become who God created me to be. I will network, I will read extra books because I want to better myself. I will increase my vocabulary because I want to better myself. I will want to take the extra classes because I want to better. Those are determining. I am determined, because when you hear the word determine, you might. Determining factors means factors that I believe that through my determination I can be able to overcome every contributing factor. Your goal in life as an Anglophone, as a Francophone, as an Ambazonia, as a Cameroonian is that you overcome every contributing factor by utilizing determining factors. Factors that come from within and not factors that are external. You cannot control the weather. Trying to control the government or change the government of Cameroon is like trying to change the weather. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like trying to change the weather. Those are external factors you have no control. Trying to change the government of Cameroon is like trying to change your skin color. Like you are a black person. You might bleach. Yes, some people do that, but I have no hard feelings towards that. But I just want to let you know that you can do that, but you are a black person. You cannot change where you were born. You can't change that. You trying to change the government of Cameroon, splitting up the country, thinking that you go create a new country and that new country will be better. It's like you trying to change the weather. It's like you trying to change the fact that you were born in the Anglophone zone. But what I am saying is those are all contributing factors and you have little control over this. People try to focus on the things that they have little control over instead of focusing on the things that they do have control over. And I'm saying determining factors are the things you have control over, because you can set up your own schedule, wake up on time. When you come back, you make sure that you take another job or take another class or start a business after you come back from work. If you want to be really successful, attend that conference, read the book, right? I went, visited my rich friend. They had books in their home. What did I do? I came back and I started buying books and I started reading books. I went, met my rich friend, and saw how they celebrated their birthday, and I'm like, wow, you don't need to pack up people to celebrate your birthday. You can put together the few people that really care about you, and you celebrate your birthday because you live enjoying that day. It is your birthday. It is not people's. It is your birthday, and making it exclusive in a way that you feel the impact and the significance of that day is what is really essential for you. And I learned. And what did I do? I came back and I applied that in my life. Do you know how hard it is to change other people? No, really. Do you know how hard it is to change other people, to get other people to change their mind on a certain subject? It's a tough job. Take yourself, for example. Do you know how many times you've tried changing a bad habit? Try changing certain things about yourself and you haven't succeeded till today. And you think it is easy to change other people? The only person that you can change is yourself. And that is the awareness that I'm bringing through this message. I cannot change you. You can listen to this message and have this message change you. I can't change you. Do you understand that? And this is what I'm trying to get our people to understand. You cannot change other people. You put the word out there. They are the ones who will decide whether they want to change or not. You cannot change people. Imagine how you failed yourself multiple times just on basic things that you said you change and you did not. Till today, you haven't. That habit is still there. You haven't changed. You can go around and act in front of people like you have it together. You know you haven't changed that habit. You know it. And then you want to change the government. You want to change people. And you think if people are behaving this way, we are tribalistic and we act this way within the community. When we break up and then we create a new country, all of a sudden we'll have new people. No. The people that should be fighting to break out of the nation are people that have been transformed. They are free from tribalism. They are free from nepotism. They have all of this together. And then now they want to break out and say, oh, we are cool people. We're not. These are the fundamentals and we haven't worked on them. What has happened? We tried to split up just within ourselves. We've fought ourselves. We've killed more people within ourselves than the government has. We have done that. And it's proof to you that you change yourself and everything else around you will change. So poor people always focus on the outside, while rich people focus on the inside. Poor people focus on everything that they see out here. Rich people go into their minds. That is what they focus on. That is why when you see they think Facebook comes out, they think we have computers, they think we are looking at the resources, things you can see. That is what we think makes us valuable. Resources that has already been discovered. And we did not put it in there. And the people we are blaming, they are the ones who discovered the resources and told us the resources was there. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the insanity. And this is the reality. We got to face it. Right? And we cannot extract it. We cannot refine it. And yet we want to prioritize it to the extent that we get a value out of that. But these other individuals, they think. They use their minds to create stuff. They are united and they work together. We are not. People have ideas and opinions everywhere in the community and they feel like it's okay. No, that is a recipe for disaster and that is poverty. Why do we see the white people rich and we poor? The white people, they cooperate when they see a good idea and they build together. Poor people, they see a good idea, they want to come there, get what they can get and go build their own stuff. And at the end of the day, nothing really gets done and the whole community goes down. It's a crap mindset. That is the distinction between poor people and rich people. I've hung around white people enough. If you have a good idea, guess what? People are going to rally around you and help to see that that idea becomes a reality. Poor people, they see a good idea, they want to challenge the person that they see coming with that good idea. It's a different way of thinking, guys, and that is why we are not making progress. But with this awareness, this is where change starts. This is really where change starts. When we create an awareness about what is going on within us. Americans are the most loyal group of people on earth. You meet someone here, they will tell you, I've been working for this company for 30 years, for 40 years, for 50 years, same company. Regardless of what they know, they have not split up to go create their own company. They have been serving. And that is what has enabled that CEO to expand that company and bless other people around the world. And because of that, they've made a significant impact. Poor people, they come around, they see a great idea, they learn, and they know one or two things. They want to split up and go create their own. Same kind of thinking. You understand what I'm saying? They understand. And that, when you guys are united, you cooperate, and you build, everyone else benefits. The community thrives. The community grows rapidly. But when everyone is thinking about themselves, in fact, the rich people are selfless. Poor people are selfish. Rich people are selfless. Poor people are selfish. And that is the distinction. When we get to the place where we start thinking about the good of everyone than ourselves, it is a classic example. We can see this even with our traditions and cultures. Our traditions and cultures is all about taking. Every tradition that you look at within our community is designed to extract from the people, to impose certain laws and customs on the people, to take money from the people, from the way we conduct weddings. If somebody dies, what you're being required to bring, it's everywhere. It's all corrupt. But if you look at wealthy people, their systems are designed to benefit everyone, benefit the community. And this is my honest observation after traveling around the world, seeing what works, not what is convenient, not what I want to hold in my heart because I come from this part of the world. No, just the honest observation. The honest observation is there's a way of thinking over here that is different compared to the way of thinking over here, and that makes the whole difference. And you wonder, like, is what reason can you give as to why others are rich and we are not? And so find out what rich people do financially and ethically and start doing the same things. Find out what poor people are doing ethically and financially, plus what you do, and stop doing those things and start doing the things rich people are doing. You will become super wealthy. The most wealthiest group of individuals in this country serve in a company and they make their money because they participated to build something great. Some of the most poorest individuals are individuals that break out and want to go start their own business all by themselves and don't have the strength, the stamina, the finance to run the company. And they struggle. Most of the wealthiest people in this country, they work for a company. And it's because they came in with a heart to serve and they will stay there for 20, 30 years in one industry. Not that you meet them at one point of their life, they are doing one thing. 5 years, 2 years later, you ask them, they are doing something else. 10 years later, they are doing something else. 20 years later, they are doing something else. I'm not saying that change doesn't happen, but I'm saying predominantly the individuals that succeed are those who are able to get on one thing, stick with that one thing, be loyal to the individuals that they work with on that one thing, and they make progress over time. That is the staggering reality. And I hope this message blesses you. This is the wealth formula. Write it down, take it and run with it. It is yours. I want to hear your testimony in the comment section. If you are an Ambazonia and you're still thinking of splitting up the country, I hope that this message gave you perspective into wealth creation. Because most of the young people, when I hear them, they want money. They want to be successful. They want to do something meaningful with their lives. And this message, if you do your research in the next 1 month, you find out everything that rich people are doing financially, ethically. And you figure out what poor people are doing financially and ethically, plus what you do. And you study that for 1 month. That means you're becoming a student now. Everywhere you go, you're taking notes. Go around and look at where you see many poor people and observe what they are doing and you write it down. Go around and look at what rich people are doing with their money and where they hang out and you write it down. Listen to what poor people are saying and then you write it down. Go to where you see many rich people and then you listen to what they are saying and you write it down. If you come back and start practicing these things, because what is coming out of the mouth of the wealthy man is based on what they believe. And what is coming out of the mouth of the poor man is what they believe. Now, there are circumstances that might cause you to be poor. I'm not disputing that, but you can overcome that with determining factors. And not let your life be defined by contributing factors. Write them down. Study it for 1 month and practice vehemently to stop doing the things that poor people are doing plus yourself and start doing the things that rich people are doing, and you will experience exponential financial breakthrough for the rest of your life. If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here.